All right, let's do FSD Beta 10.3.1 in the rain. I previewed it earlier this morning, and it's a lot less confident in the rain and a lot slower at takeoffs. Let's see how it does with this guy over here without lights. Whoa, it's trying to go the wrong way down the road. Let's not do that. See, there's no real room to hang out in the middle here like it might have wanted to do. Let's get over. So one thing I've noticed is it is a lot slower to take off from a green light if it's in the front, and it's a lot more likely to try and hit a curb, or as we saw in that last case, go the wrong direction down the road. So we'll see how Navigate on Autopilot with vision only on this FSD does, but we're not on single stack, so it should do the same as your Model 3 S, X, or Y does today. Still got the phantom traffic light, saw that this morning. Okay, it picked up on its own without me telling it to go, but there's traffic coming behind us, so I'm gonna push it through the second one to the real light. Well, you gotta get to the bar, babe. There you go. I guess I'm quite cool with it being more cautious since it can't see as well. But they're gonna have to work on turns. There's no reason to change lanes, but I'm not gonna stop it. They need to work on the turns in the rain. And so what better way to get them more data than actually go out and give it to them? Yellow light. All right, so this will give us an example of what it does when the light turns green. And because there's this Jeep with no lights behind us, obviously that person doesn't drive very well. After I show you how cautious it is, I'm going to go ahead and push the lightning pedal to make it speed up so this guy doesn't try to run us through with his busted Jeep. See, very slowly. The regulars come out ahead of us. Oh, I didn't have to do anything that time. Okay. But still much slower than it does on its own, and much slower than it used to do when on the button builds and all the other ones from that series that I was complaining about and have yet to produce the videos for you to see yet. All right, it does a lot better behind somebody else. Still not the way it normally takes off. Yep, I was about to suggest we get over. So because it can't really see that the traffic light is one direction, it may try to stop for it again with what I call the phantom traffic light. We'll see in a minute. Now I can't guarantee one of these in the rain videos for every update. Up there it is for the fake traffic light. I can't guarantee one of these for every video because it doesn't rain all that much here. And these updates come pretty quick. So we'll see what happens. Go. This is actually more rain than I anticipated based on what it was doing this morning. We've got a coastal flood warning. Don't stop. And don't you beep at me. It's your responsibility not to hit me. Yes, I should not be stopped there, but there could be a legitimate reason to stop. The car didn't have one, but they had no reason to be beeping at us. It's gonna take the regular roads. That's good. Gives us more time in this mode. Bump. All right, let's see how it does with this truck coming up. It usually doesn't do very well. Yep, signal? No, you're not. Oh, you gave over to Navigate on Autopilot, which means that we're stuck in this lane. Oh, Navigate on autopilot gave up because it was raining. You should have handed over before you gave up. Let's see if this Jeep lets us in. Yep, thank you. See, if it's not going to be driving, then I think it should hand over back to the beta. If the beta hands over to Navigate on autopilot, Navigate on autopilot gives up. I understand that this won't be a problem when single stack comes up, but it's super annoying. First world problems, I know, but if it can drive itself in one mode, why not let that mode that's confident do it? Because we've seen that FSD beta can operate on the highway on my previous videos. But single stack, as I said, will solve all of this. And it'll also make Summon not drive like it's drunk. I'm sorry, Smart Summon. Summon has always worked. It just rolls forward or backwards up to 40 some odd feet. But let's speed this up and we'll see if anything interesting happens. So right there we saw that the speed limit adjustments are still in, even though it's not in Navigate on Auto, or even though it's not in FSD beta, and Navigate on Autopilot has chosen not to assist us with anything today. The speed limits are still there, but as I pointed out in other videos, sometimes it doesn't adjust the speed up or down, and like that where we got onto the highway in the first place, it never goes up. Some consistency would be nice. Okay, at some point up here, it's going to transition back to FSD beta. I'm going to avoid some trash in the road, since we know that auto steer won't do that. Navigate on autopilot sometimes does, but it's not reliable enough to count on it. There we go, FSD beta. Poor weather detected, yes. We've got our new wiper blades, as you saw during our last rain video. This one won't be anywhere near as long as that last rain video because I'm going to be speeding it up and cutting out huge chunks of the return trip. All right, so here we've got a merge. We've got construction going on right now, so this will be interesting to see how it handles it. This one always makes me nervous. The bridge is really close to the road. Puddle, okay. All right, are we gonna go around this Prius or not? Not? Yeah, we are, baby. I was about to tell you to do it. Nobody likes getting stuck behind a Prius. I say this as a former Prius owner. I would hypermile the heck out of that car. 70 miles to the gallon. And a car rated for 40. Whoa, get back in your lane. So, what is it keying off of? It was definitely not following the 35. Come on, let's do better than that. No, it's 50 here. If you'll stay in the lane, please. I mean, you keep going down to 35. Why? That's not the speed limit here. I don't care what the Prius is doing. I'm gonna take over. There's no school zones, no nothing. There's no reason to be doing 35 here in this kind of weather. More? Yeah, okay, but not this kind of weather. So I'm fully manually driving this right now just because it keeps trying to change lanes on. Straddle the middle of the road. I'm guessing that those little reflectors that they've tabbed in, they're almost all bent over, so maybe it can't see them very well in the rain. It typically doesn't have a problem with them though. Got a Camaro just jumping lanes. It'd probably be able to handle that fine, but I did because I'm driving. Get back on it, baby. There you go. So basically, I turned it back on as soon as I saw the paint. And it resumed the speed. And now it's getting in the correct lane. Okay. Stop. I'm still here. All right, see you at the green. Okay, I'm gonna help it. And there we go. Or not. Oh, it sees the light and is thinking what to do about the light. And there we go. Now we're picking up speed again. I don't know what it is about this and all the recent versions about pushing through that 40-mile-an-hour mark where it just accelerates like it's got some sense from the slow roll. Hopefully it's not a late breaker on this update, because the late braking is not good. Where are you going? Why are you changing lanes when you need to? This is super annoying how it always wants to change lanes away from the turn it's about to make. So I'm gonna, or it's gonna do it. I was about to say I'm gonna push it back in the lane it needs to be in. And I'm in aggressive, so there's no reason for it to be leaving what it considers to be the passing lane. Or assertive, sorry. Water. All right, here's our turn. Whoa, super aggressive. I'll have to look back at the footage to see if we actually got a turn signal on that or not. All right, so it's drawing out the paint there, and we'll see what it does to us on this turn. All right, let's see how it does with this turn and the curb. Get my feet ready on the pedals, or foot ready on the pedals. All right, so far so good. Turn, got it, keep turning. Oh boy, that was bad. Good thing there was no car next to us. At least it didn't hit the curb, but it was all over the the paint. Okay. Let's see how it does cresting this blind hill. Okay. I think some of these might be new. Nope, somebody's hit all of them. Maybe they just look different when they're wet. Okay. Braking for the turn. That's fine by me. Let's turn this power meter back on so you can see what it's trying to do with the pedals on its own. Okay, yeah, that's the lane you need, but I'm surprised it didn't pick the slow lane to start with. All right, there we go. I didn't notice the speed limit sign. I knew it was nearby. So it picked up speed. I certainly hope that it's using all of this to add to their HD maps, because you've got 8 cameras, so why not? Eight cameras, high-res GPS, great processing. Just add to your maps. Apparently it's better in California than elsewhere, and Elon has agreed that that's true, even though a bunch of the classic beta testers have decided that that's not true. I'll take Elon's word over theirs. I'm curious how much worse it would be if I had a windshield coating. Like they say, don't put Rain-X and stuff on there. Okay, we'll help it out because this guy's gonna bop in front of us. I knew he was trying. Last thing I want to do is get stuck behind a Camry on this. Most of the Camrys I get stuck behind on here just randomly stop and turn, like I'm back in Florida again. So don't you start too. that one a little wide. I mean, not that it didn't have the right, but it typically doesn't go that wide to right there. Let's see how it does here. It's not a very well done area. Handled it well enough. Not as well as it does in the dry. All right, we got our turn coming up here. Let's see how it does. Turn, not curve. There we go. All right, this should be very straightforward. There's next to no oncoming traffic. Don't hit the curb. And you're golden. Whoa. Why are you going that way? Oh, I see what you're doing. There's no reason to go that way. We'll go this way. So looking at the map, I see why it tried to go that way. Oh, Domino's, you should slow it down in the parking lot. Yeah, rolling stop in parking lots, but yep. But in real parking lots, in real stop signs, I do stop. Okay, have a good day, man. All right, so we still have the situation with the opening a door puts it in park. And you all know the deal. I will only do clips of the return journey, the interesting stuff. So let's see which way it wants to go. So this is the way it said it was going to go last night, and then it chose to go another way. Go where the Prius goes. Okay. Not a very good experience when it starts rocking the wheel like that. All right, it's going to creep forward. Thankfully, it can see over the Prius. It's probably just going to go at this point. Yep. Do it. All right, I'm going to tell it to go. Okay, auto steer hated this turn. It did all right on FSD. Could have been better, but it did all right. Yeah, I'd rather it slow down if it can't hold the turn. I don't know why it can't hold the turn. The hardware is capable of it, particularly the tires and the steering rack. That's much slower than I would do it if I was manually driving. All right, let's see how FSD handles this new lane appearing here. Auto steer and myself both jump to the right like that 4Runner is doing. Let's see what FSD does. Holds the lane. But that's not the wrong way to do it. It's just not the way that most of us do it. Most of us go to the right-hand lane. Most of us meaning the locals here. All right, I don't know why it's braking up to the green light like that. Put the speeds back up, and here we go. Okay, and coming up here, auto steer would usually freak out if it was in the lead at the green light. If it was following like it is now, it didn't always do such a bad job. No complaints on this side, okay. I don't know why this Honda's rocking no headlights. I don't know why you turned off the fog lights. Probably when it went to park, it turned off the headlights. Dude. You guys are doing 28 to 35. I'm still here. Another blind hill. Handled just fine. They must have bad wipers. They're going so much slower than they need to. All right, you gonna change lanes? I think you should change lanes. Change lanes. Why does Mix Slow want to go the same way as us? Ugh. Alright, you can turn on red here, so let's see how it does. Well, from this lane. Looks like it's creeping. Looks like it's about to go for it. Oh, there you go. I was about to tell it to go. Yeah. Ludicrous launch. Okay, not quite ludicrous. But aggressive. Just the way I like it. All right, I'm not sure if the construction in the other direction has recognizable lines or not. We'll see. And if it doesn't, we'll see if it tries to just hog the both lanes or not. If it does, I'll go back to manual drive again. Apparently 55 in the rain was enough for Mr. Ford over there. Yellow light. Is he gonna run it? No, he won't. You're in such a hurry, but you can't recognize the light turn green? Get off your phone. Alright, this is, oh. I get cautious, but that's too much. You'd think they'd fix the manhole cover bumps when they resurface the road, but no, that's too much to ask. That one was all right. Apparently Elon's on Twitter. Water puddle. I don't want to stay in this lane. I want to get over there behind the Lexus. But he's moving like super slow. Plus, if I stayed in my lane, I would miss the turn. All right, so apparently it's just metal tabs on this road too, so or this side of the road too. So I will probably have to take over. We'll see how it does. Because these ones are all also smashed over. It's nudging right. I think the only reason it hasn't taken up with the whole road is because there's traffic on the other side. This truck is a jerk. No signals, too fast in the rain, no headlights. Okay, good, we missed that tow strap. Why are you changing lanes? No, you don't need to turn, you just go straight. No, straight. Okay, here it'll get harder because there's no yellow to go on. There's just those white tabs. You don't need to change lanes. You change lanes, you go the wrong way. What are you braking for? Oh boy. Super confident. By that, being sarcastic. All right, here we go. Under the bridge, water. All right, we made it. All right, let's see how it hands over to navigate on autopilot, which will probably fail because of the wiper speed. I really wish it was based on actual visibility and not just that the wipers are going fast, which is totally stupid way to handle it. I'm sure it's covering something up, fast and dirty patch, but I didn't write it. Because it used to be based on, at least on Autopilot 1 anyway, it was based on whether it could see or not. It didn't care about the speed of the wipers. I think even in the early days of when this one had the AP 2.5 computer, and then after that they went to the hack of if the wipers are going too fast, it won't go. And then some long time after they slow back down, that the auto steer for navigating autopilot comes back. So then, yeah, it must have worked before in this car because we had navigate on autopilot before the speed thing was an issue. All right, so we're still in FSD. Hopefully FSD will get us in the lane, or this slower speed will be good enough for navigate on autopilot. All right, he wants to come over before the lane exists, and he probably will, so hopefully our car is anticipating that. All right, at least he didn't run into us. Oh, navigate on autopilot. And it doesn't want to work. Thank you. All right, we need to get over again because this lane doesn't exactly exist for long. Let's see what happens here. Does this guy let us over? No? Because you know what happens if you don't let me over? I just go further down and get in front of you anyway. All right, we're going to do one more because the car doesn't like to sit in this lane that they merge into. Oh, hey, welcome back. And now it's going to get us over. Why do you keep turning off my rear fogs? I don't want people running into me. If you can't see, they can't see. Their equipment is much worse than yours. There it goes. It wants to change now. It won't change because it got too close to that truck. Let's go. This is something I've noticed it's doing, is it'll give way too much room in traffic. That's unique to this build. It would never go with the rate that Lexus was coming. Okay, so there was a UPS truck in my neighborhood. It tried to go around. It did, but then there's a speed bump behind it, so it was trying to rocket over the speed bump. So I took over there, and I would say in the rain, FSD 3.1 has got 10.3.1 has got a lot of work to do, but it was better than I was anticipating going into it based on my short drive this morning, and it's got potential. They really need to do something about the way that They really need to do something about the way that it accelerates from a stop. I understand it needs to be cautious, but it's too cautious to the point where, again, it will cause road rage in these larger cities and metros. So we'll see what they do in the next one and what they do from the data here. 10.4 is a week away, so I don't know if it will do. I mean, I've seen changes within the versions. 10.2 and 10.3 both have had behavioral changes in the middle of their cycle, but I don't anticipate seeing anything major until the next update at 10.4, but we'll see how it does. And we'll catch you guys on the flip side.